Probably one of the best known contrarian voices during the COVID pandemic, arguing for rational policy during the pandemic. But I know him best as a rancher of horses and emus.
And welcome my friend Jan Jekielek. You may remember that I spoke about Jan's leadership in the Epoch Times at CPAC 3 years ago. And I think without CPAC, without Epoch Times, we might not be where we are right now. It's been my pleasure to build a friendship with Jan and to participate in his fantastic series, American Thought Leaders, and our little fun series of clips that we call Fallout. So I'm wearing a bow tie today, not my usual attire, in honor of Dr. Peter Hotez. You'll recall that Peter Hotez last December darkly muttered about the fact that as soon as President Trump was in office, there was going to be a series of virus outbreaks, of threatening viral events that were going to cause him and to focus on responding to those. But instead what we have is two amazing things that happened on the same day.
Well, so who here noticed that the new HHS secretary is Robert F. Kennedy Jr.? Two things happened that day. First, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was sworn in, and second, there was an executive order signed by President Trump that established a commission to look at child chronic disease. A 1-2 punch that, in our view, is kind of revolutionizing the future of health. Robert.
I agree. So what is this thing, MAHA? Make America Healthy Again. What does that really mean? Those of us that have kind of been in the sausage making process have a pretty good sense, but let's go to what President Trump has defined as MAHA in this amazing executive order. And what he's laid out, the mission he's laid out for my friend, your friend too.
Okay, front page of the Epoch Times, okay? The national edition, you should check it out. It's unbelievable, right? But what is the reason? You might think, looking at mainstream media headlines, that it's because bird flu has killed 55 million birds. No, people have killed 55 million birds in an attempt to stop the bird flu, but that's not necessarily the only way to do it.
So bird flu has been around for years. I think this is our 4th episode of fear, of promoted fear about bird flu. And it never materializes, it never transfers into humans so far. Let's hope that continues to be the case. But now, even according to the CDC, bird flu is not a major risk for humans. It doesn't transmit from human to human. It's not putting people in the hospital, and they're not dying at any kind of a rate. Bird flu needs to be controlled, but the policies of the USDA, which now have cost you $1.2 billion, and that's direct costs, for the USDA to compensate farmers that have had to kill their flocks, and it's not working. That is the old school way to control outbreaks. But bird flu is in all the birds. It's in migratory waterfowl. We cannot eradicate bird flu. So we got to think of something different instead of this, give a 3-year-old a hammer and everything becomes a nail. That is what USDA bureaucrats keep applying. I argue that instead of vaccinating chickens with a zoetis mismatched leaky bird flu vaccine, heard anything like that before? Say COVID, okay, which will drive the evolution of more vaccine-resistant bird flu strains. We need to rethink this whole strategy. And what I advocate, and I can tell you, I hear rumor that this is being actively considered in the administration right now, and we may hear some announcements about this, is there's going to be a rethinking of how we approach this. And personally, I like the idea that we let loose the chicken industry to breed flu-resistant chickens and turkeys and ducks. rather than trying to jab them all with crummy vaccines or kill them all because they get infected. That's just one example of what can happen if MAHA is unchained.
Well, and everyone, I think we've run out of time here. Bottom line is, let's focus on